Good afternoon, everybody. Vanessa Kim here, and happy Mother's Day to everybody where Mother's Day has been celebrated. I think it's only Australia, I'm not sure. I hope you've had a beautiful day. I don't have any kids, but I do have a beautiful dog, so she's like my baby, and I can just imagine what it must be like to have beautiful souls in your life that love you so much and that you've got a beautiful life with. So I hope you've had a wonderful day. Today I'm going to talk about classics again. I want to talk a little bit about some of the conversations my sister and I have been having about her putting her classic wardrobe together. And I also want to talk about the different Kibbe body type silhouettes because, as I said, that's what's been absolutely life-changing for me as a soft dramatic to find my silhouette. It means that I can put old clothes together in my wardrobe now and just make them work. In fact, this was a picture that I took today. I've got an old trench coat on. In fact, it's actually got stains on it because I cleaned the shower in this coat once. Can you believe it? I sprayed the shower and I got bleach all over it. Anyway, it's got that on the inside, but it's very old. And then I've also got a satiny silk top that's got a big bow on it. I've got really old jeggings that they would look so much nicer if they were dark blue. And then I've got some Guess sneakers on, and they're designer sneakers, and they're in a stony color, so a neutral. So for a soft dramatic, the T shape is being created there, the T silhouette. Well, we're not talking about traditional fruit shapes here, which just don't work, but we're talking about a silhouette to do with your bone structure and the flesh on the bones. And that's what I am. I'm a soft dramatic, which is a T with curves. And so then I just go through my wardrobe now and I just put things together and it just, it works. I mean, those are old clothes. So the fact that they look half decent, I'm actually really excited about that for my casual wear, to be able to just throw things together. Now, let's go on to classics. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and click the bell. I just love having you here, and it's just wonderful to have this community. I make videos every week, so I'm really committed to helping everybody figure out their body types and work out their wardrobes. So let's get on to the classics. Now, my sister sent me some photos through the week asking me, she calls me Nessie, will this do, Nessie? Will this do, Nessie? And I was feeling like a little bit of a broken record. And I was like, no, it won't do. She was sending me pictures of these kinds of sneakers. And I said, look, they're not bad, but when you understand what a classic is, there's nothing that's going to be glaring about a classic. A classic is classical, right? Really stylish. You've got that really wealthy look about you, which is extremely stylish. And so really classical types of looks will look amazing on you. You're not going actually for these kinds of bright, really out there things, like these bright shoes with big florals on them, or like these pants that have just got all of these bright patterns on them. You could almost get away with the pants because you'd wear a top which would actually have to match. It might be like a little tank top and it would be in the same fabric, and those pants would have to be straight, not like mum jeans where they go baggy around the knees and that sort of thing. It would be just a very straight tailored look. So you wouldn't be wearing a different color top with those pants, because even if you just wore black or the color of the print there, which is like a pinky color, you would be cutting your line in half with a different top and pants. You've got to have a straight line going all the way down. Now, even with the outfit that I'm wearing today, my jeans are lighter than my top and they really need to be the same. What's the saving grace is that the top actually goes down past the crotch, so it continues with the long line. If it was shorter, it would be really problematic because you would see this cut in the wrong place. We really need that long line, and so does the classics. The classics actually should never break that line. Kibbe says you look best with one color going all the way down. And when I told my sister this, she was saying, oh no, I've never worn one color. It feels boring. But it's not boring. And when you wear you can wear a little satin scarf or silk scarf around your neck. Nothing huge and big though. Same thing if you tied one around your back. You're not talking about some big bow. You're talking about a fine, beautiful silk scarf. So when you invest in things, you start to invest in real quality. The shoes that you would be buying, and they can be a neutral color, and then they're going to go with all the cut-off crop pants that you could buy. And if you're really wanting things to be casual, one of the beautiful followers on my channel sent me a message and said, I just feel like all the clothes are natural out there. And I said, yes, my sister's finding the same thing. Actually, the truth is that all the clothes are flamboyant natural. Flamboyant natural are what all the models are. They've got the broader shoulders, they've got the width, they've got width and length. So they've got the width on the shoulders and they've got the long vertical line, and all the clothes are made for that type. And then when they go into petite sizes or petite heights, the manufacturers just cut it off. They just make them shorter. So you're still going to have too much width. I mean, a flamboyant natural can look good in a tent dress because they've got the broadness and the length to carry that off. The rest of us will never look good in a tent dress. Not one of us will. And that's the unfortunate thing, that when you go shopping, you can get really, really down in the dumps. And even when you shop online, because you can think, well, goodness, I'd surely find things online. I mean, I've got access to the whole world. But this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with manufacturers that are taking most of the lines off a flamboyant natural. And why? Because the flamboyant natural are the ones that are modeling the clothes. Those are the ones that all the photos are taken of. And so they've got to put on there what looks good on them. So the models are all those people. They make the clothes for them. And then they don't really care if they look good on you or not, because all they want you to do is buy it. So they look good on the model and we buy them, thinking, well, that should look all right on me, and you get it and you think, wow, that is just hideous. So that's what's happening in the industry. Now, there are some manufacturers that are changing that, and there are some styles. A beautiful lady that I know sent me actually a link to a fabulous website, which I will put a link in the comments below, which has the most beautiful soft dramatic clothes. I mean, you would have to tie the bottom in or take it in to get that angle of those wrap dresses, but the shirts, the tops are stunning. They're perfect. They've got a roundness at the bottom, they've got a V-neck, and they come in at the waist a little bit, so that's perfect. They've got a gorgeous jersey kind of feel to them, so they drape beautifully, and that will work very well for casual clothes for a soft dramatic. So I'll put that below. Thanks to Teresa for sending me that. The other thing is, with the classic, you do need to invest some money in beautiful color mules to go with your crop pants, as I said. And just make sure that the tops and bottoms are the same color. And then you can wear trench jackets, will look fantastic. My sister was saying, I feel like I've got to wear a suit to the beach. That's being a classic. And I'm saying, well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, because you are tailored, so that you are looking for that tailored. But there's nothing to stop you from having shorts and having your jacket the same length as your shorts. Or like a shirt, a beautiful tailored shirt over some shorts, and the top and the shorts are the same color, and the shirt is almost the same color, but it's maybe got a stripe in it or something like that. Nothing to stop you from doing that. You have a little scarf, a silk scarf, but you are class. You're class. And this is the thing that I think the classics have to get used to. They have to actually start to realize they're not a natural. So many classics I see are actually wearing denim jackets. That's not you. I see them trying to be a bit fun with fun pieces, and all that happens is when somebody looks at a classic, that's got big flower shoes on, they'll just think it looks a bit clownish on you because you're not that type. That's a gamine. So that type is not a classic, and a classic looks right when they actually claim that wealthy, rich look about themselves. There's something about you, if you're not wearing those clothes, that you've blocked that off about yourself, and you don't want to admit to yourself that you're that classy. And you might have to ask, why is that? Why don't I want to claim that? Because that's just a most beautiful, balanced, stunning look. You want to create a balanced look. You don't want it so that someone sees you. Instead of seeing you, they see your shoes, or they see these big pants. And so you have to ask yourself, why is it that I'm wanting to be more comical? Or why is it that I'm wanting to look quite unput together? Okay, and this is just for every body type. Like for me, I had to ask myself, why do I not want to wear cinched in waist and show my hip and my bust? Remember, I did a video on that where I realized it was because I didn't want the male gaze on me. So I had to do some psychological work on myself to realize, which wasn't really hard actually, just to realize that's what was going on. I was actually hiding under clothes that weren't right for me because I just didn't want that look. Now I've embraced that look. In terms of the other silhouette, for the dramatic, you just want to have a straight up and down look, and it's minimalist. So 2 of my beautiful followers sent me photos and said, you know what, Vanessa, I think I'm not a soft dramatic. I think I might be a dramatic, because all these folds and knots and things where you've got these curves happening, I'm starting to feel like they overwhelm me. And I sent them a picture out of Kibbe's book and showed them that actually the dramatic still does have a bust. So a slim dramatic with a bust can sometimes think that they're a soft natural because they've got the bust and they've got a bit of curve. But in actual fact, you've got to be careful about that, because if you've got a lot of angularity, you're more than likely a dramatic. And how you'll know actually is when you start to do the angle of the skirt and you start to put folds in and draping, like I've spoken to you about, and bows around that stomach area, you're going to find it too much. And that's going to be a direction for you to start looking, maybe I need to look at dramatic because this is all too much here, or dramatic classic. But if you're over 5'7", then you're not a dramatic classic. But the dramatic classic's got that very clean, angular look about them as well. And then we're looking also for the romantic, and the romantic has got a double curve. So Kibbe talks about 2 circles. So when you see a romantic, you'll see these 2 circles with a cinched in waist. 1 circle of the bust and 1 circle of the hips. Now, I had a couple of people sending me photos on Instagram saying, do you think that I am a romantic? And I've had a look at the photo and said, no, you're not. It's quick as anything to see. If you've got two big round circles that are almost, they're the same size, they're the same size. If you've got that in your silhouette, you are a romantic. But if you don't, then you're not a romantic. So you see the soft dramatic has 1 curve. And so Kibbe's always talking in terms of width and length. So the dramatic has no curve. You might have some curve in the bust and some curve in the hip because you're a woman, but you'll see that it's not as much as what you think if you're a dramatic. You might be just playing those parts up. And if you are a flamboyant natural, you've got the width and the length, but your width is not a circle. Your width is square. So you have got squareness about you and a longness about you. And so you've got a look, and that type can actually carry off more of a tent-like dress where you can carry off a width. There's a lot of width in your dresses. A lot of overweight flamboyant naturals get petrified of wearing anything with width. But if you're a flamboyant natural, you've got the width and you've got the length, you can wear wide clothes, and you should. They will look amazing on you. So I'm going to leave the video here. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Thank you so much for being here. And next week I'm going to do a capsule wardrobe for romantics. See you then. Bye.